Today, it is almost 35 degrees here in southeast Wisconsin, so I'm out in the pole barn working on some projects, and I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you my favorite planters that I've used for over 15 years. It's not sponsored, I just have used them on large residential properties because I plant tremendously large annual containers, and these work. Now some of your options are clay, old school definitely, people like that look, but they're heavy, they break, just not a good thing, except that they look gardeny. Then the other option is concrete. Very ornate, some of them, which I'll talk about in a minute. Doesn't matter how ornate my planters are for my clients. Very heavy, they break. But because I take all of my containers to a local greenhouse called Gross Gardens, I plant all my containers, about 50 of them, the first week of April. They maintain them, water them, everything until Memorial Day week, and then either I pick them up or they deliver them to my clients' homes. They do this for like 5,000 containers for not mostly contractors, mostly homeowners. Great program if you live in southeast Wisconsin. So I switched to, this is called Tusco brand, and what I like about these, and what I tell my clients is, yeah, this is a pretty plain container. It's square, not very ornate on the sides, nothing fancy on the outside. But what I tell my clients is, you know, you have the spillers, the thrillers when you're doing these plants. So a lot of times you have petunias, and in this case I had 6 foot wide, I'll put a picture up here. Sun impatiens in here, 6.5 inches by the time it got to be September, October, which makes it very top heavy. They're a couple feet above and 6 feet wide. But they're hanging down here about the middle of the summer, so you don't even see what, you know, the container looks like, so you don't need to be fancy. I switched to these containers last year because of this. This I put in here, they show you where to drill this, but this container will hold, I don't know how many, but it's got to be 2, 3, 4 gallons of water in the base, and that helps for a lot of things. Capillary action, let me tip this towards the camera, let me see, yep. Capillary action, the soil is actually in the water. No, it doesn't cause rot. Capillary action pulls the moisture up to the root system, and you have to water a lot less. Now, something I'll talk about in another video is all my containers and all my plants that I put in the garden. I use a product called Moisture Manager, cuts watering by 75%. Yes, 75%. These large containers I water twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Never have a problem with them drying out. But that's also another story that we'll talk about with Moisture Manager. So you fill these up, and when the water's full, it'll come out the side. If you have a lot of rain, it pours out the side. If you don't drill this hole in here, these would make great water garden containers, which are hard to find, nice ones. Because it is watertight. There's no place for the water to go. You put some nice Egyptian papyrus in here, and that, you can have a nice water garden. But why I switched to this is, let me put this to the side for a minute. Put it down here. This is the container I was using. It's a big container also. But what happens is when those plants are so big and wide, we get some winds on this particular property. It's right on Lake Michigan. But these planters, well, half of them are on the roadside, which still gets a lot of west winds, and some are on the lakeside, which gets some strong northeast winds off there. But you get a strong wind, watch what happens. Oh, strong wind. Now, I've got to clean that up. Client's not going to be happy because there's dirt on their planter, or they're in the middle of a party, and they're trying to wrestle with their planters. So we get rid of that. Physics at Michigan Tech helped me understand that square is stronger than round. If a strong wind comes, it's not going anywhere. Plus, these have the added benefit, if there's 3, 4 gallons of water in here at 8 pounds per gallon, that's another 20 or 30 pounds. These did not tip over at all last year. So, that's what I have found works great. They have some more ornate planters that we use on another estate. I'll see if I have some pictures that I'll put up in this video that are up to like 36 inches wide, 42 inches wide. But you don't have to do that. But plastic will last forever. The ones on this other estate are 15 years old. They look brand spanking new because I do power wash them every year. That's it. If you have any questions, comments, be sure to like, subscribe, other than just my family watching these videos. All right, and I will see you out in the garden getting dirty.